Hello, student. Welcome to the Brilliance Growth Academy. Today, we are going forward with our existing chapter that is the staffing. We have already discussed some of the key points related with the staffing chapters, its meaning and importance, its benefit, and we have already covered its core duties of HR department, right? So, following the same, we are moving on our same chapter. We will discuss about the a new topic that is the evolution of HRM. So, what is the evolution of HRM? It means that at what stages HRM has went through and how the HRM department become come into existence with the passing through the different stages or with a different name. There are three points here written. You can observe that labor welfare officer, personal officer, managers, and a human resource manager. With the starting of the Human Resource Department, earlier it was not the HRM, earlier it was called Labor Welfare Officer. Labor Welfare Officers who have a contact between the owners and the worker, but there is not a good condition at all. They have a just bare minimum link between the owner and the workers. Trade union has to im- make adjustment between the relationship of owner and workers. They try to interfere whatever working is not done in a favor of workers. So they have to have a contact with the owner and the worker simultaneously. So labor welfare officer is a person who used to be a mediator between the owner and the worker, but there is a no major link between the owner and workers in this situation. Second, with the passage of time, labor and welfare officers become the personal officer or a personal manager who emerge with a factory system to handle the massive scaling of hiring, recruiting, selection, and placement. Personal managers who is concerned with the employees recruitment, selection, placement, and their hiring. So definitely a personal manager used to work with the factory system. Earlier, we find that there is a number of employees who are hired or who were hired on account of factories and its system. So we have to focus on the hiring, recruiting, selection, and placement of the employees, and all the function are performed by the placement officer or placement manager. So placement manager has to continuously work with the factory system to handle the massive hiring in terms of a people who are working on the lower level, who are working on the different department in the lower segment. So everywhere they have to find the person, place them at a required place, and get work done from them. So placement officer manager has to work in that manners. Next, after passing through the different stages or a different period of time, personal officer, personal managers becomes the human resource manager. Human resource managers is a very important person in the today's world, or we can see that it emerged with the rapid technological advancement or development, recognizing the people not just as a worker but as a valuable assets and a capable of continuous development. Human resource managers definitely hire the people from the different culture and a background. They hire in the organizations for the specific work or the specific uh, kind of activities or a task. So they have to handle the different people at a different period of time because they are focusing on hiring, recruiting, selecting, training, and developing all over the people who are hired by the HR manager. So they're basically trying to find out the ways that will help them to grow in a very sy- systematic environment, because organization have a systematic environment, and the environment help you to grow as you complete your training and development session. So you are very much required to follow the technological advancement along with the organizational changes, because human resource manager has to work with a close interaction with the environment and identify the training and the development needs from different point of view that can be given, that can be imparted to the people or the workers working in the organization. Because human resource manager want the workers to become a very good assets or a very good pillar of the organizations, on which organization can thrive, organization can success, can get to the success. So evolution of HRM has been through the different stages, and it has been from labor welfare officers to human resource management. So in this way, a labor officers become the personal officer become the human resource manager. So this is a very important evolution of HRM that we understand through the particular chapter. Now we are focusing on staffing process. It is very important process of organization, because success of an organization totally depends upon the people who become the part of the organization or who have been hired by a particular HR manager. HR managers is a very key play a key role in identifying or recruiting the people. They place them on a uh, right place and the right direction and at the right time, and they hire the people for a different task, whether it is related to the marketing, finance, production, procurement, and any other r- functions that is run by the organization. So what are the staffing process and how HR manager handle this prime concern or prime important work of the organizations? Let's deep dive and understand the different steps. There are 8 steps that have been structured in this particular topic. First we need to estimate the manpower requirement, right? So this step involves determining both the numbers and the type of person required. It translates organization goals into precise job description and describes the profile. It relies on two main analytical tools. In this particular step, we HR manager has to identify how many persons are required at a particular job. We need to identify our organization goals, and then we have to define the organization goals into job description or desirable profile that will be fulfilled or that will be worked upon. So accordingly we need to manage our manpower requirement. Next, in this case, we have to do two important analysis, that is a workload analysis and workforce analysis. As you can get the point that workload analysis is assessment of a total number or a type of human resource necessary to perform various corporate tasks. The workload analysis does a particular a particular assessment how corporate tasks are done by a number of human resource, and how many people are required at a particular job. So workload analysis is related with the total number of people that would complete a particular corporate task or corporate activities. Workforce analysis an evaluation of a number or a types of personnel currently available within the firms. How many people are available in the organization and how many people who are performing their jobs are available in the organizations. So workload and workforce who are actually working at the moment, or workload how many people we actually need at the particular task. So we need to do these two kind of analysis on account of human resource department. So we need to understand workload analysis, we need to understand the workforce analysis, and both are important. Now we are focusing on second step, that is a recruitment. Recruitment is a process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for a job in the organizations. It aims to create a broad pool of candidates using the internal source, transfer and promotion, or external source, that is advertisement, campus placement, and web publishing. So recruitment is what? Recruitment is a people is a process of searching for the prospective employee, searching for a talented employee, searching for people who are really in their need of job, and they can showcase their skill, they can showcase their talent, and how they can fulfill a particular task, and how they can complete a job during a particular time period. So recruitment is the searching of particular employees, or employ them at a particular job, or in a role. Recruitment can be internal, recruitment may be external. Internal recruitment might be on the basis of a transfer or promotion, and external recruitment might be based on the advertisement given in the newspaper, or sometimes you had the candidate from the campus, or from the college or university. Sometimes you publish in the web page of the companies, or web page of the organization, from where from where the prospective employees can contact to the organizations by sending their credential, by sending their important document at their website. And if they find the candidate suitable, they can call to the candidate at the for a particular job. Next, we are talking about step 3, that is the selection. Selection is the process of evaluating the recruitment pool and choosing the best candidate for the designated job. It involves a series of rigorous employment tests, that is, the intelligence, aptitude, personality traits, and interest, and structured interviews to eliminate the unqualified applicants. Selection is an important process because it will allow the HRM, human resource manager, or human resource department, to identify whether a employer or prospective employees who are willing to work with the organization are really best for the job or not. They are finding, or they are trying to identify their skills, their education, their knowledge, and their intelligence, their aptitude, their personality, and their behavior. So in this way, they try to analyze a candidate from the different perspective and from different test point of view. And they try, sometimes they conduct a structured interviews to eliminate the unqualified applicant, because structured interviews are rigorous, and it automatically find out the best employees or best prospective employees out of the all the applicant who have applied for a particular job, right? So structured interviews is important in and it helps the management to find a very genuine or very appropriate person for the particular job. Next, we are asking about placement and orientations. Orientations is the introducing the new selected employees to their colleagues, superiors, subordinate, and familiarize them with the rules, values, and policies of the organization. It is just like that. If a guest come to you and you introduce him with your family members. So in the same way, during the orientation phase, a newly selected employees are introduced with the co-workers, colleagues, superiors, and subordinate, and let the particular new employees familiarize with the rules and regulation, procedures, values, and policy of the organization. So this is the orientation program. Second is the placement. Operational act of employees occupying the specific positions or a post for which they were selected. So, operational aspect employees occupying the specific position or post for which they are selected. So, now it is a time to give a particular employees who have been selected and employ them at a particular position so that they can work for the organization in very specific manner. So this is the operational part that is totally based on the HRM, and they will allow the employees or hired employees to work under a particular department or under a particular superiors who help them to grow or help them to provide some important task to be completed in the particular hierarchy or particular organizations, right? Next, we are talking about training and development. To maintain a high employees' motivation and efficiency, organization facilitate continuous learning. Training is a job-oriented process to enhance the specific skills, whereas development is a career-oriented process focusing on the holistic growth of individuals. This method include on-the-job training and off-the-job training because to maintain a high employees motivation efficiencies, because it usually happens that once you hire the people in the organization and they are associating with the organizations, so their continuous motivation and efficiencies are important for the organization, and it should help the organization to cover up their most of the objectives through their effort or through the coordinated effort. So organization facilitate the learning, how they can learn a new skill, how they can train themselves on account of new skills, whether it's a technical, whether it's a non-technical, and sometimes they provide them training about a particular skill so they can learn the same and they could be more job oriented, more job focused. So whereas development is a career oriented process focusing on the holistic growth of individual, that is on the job training and off the job training. So training will definitely focus on the job specific matter, and the development will focus on a career oriented focus, career oriented process. So in this way, development will be a continuous process on the different period of time, and organizations conduct training and development sessions. Training will be for specific skills, and development is for how they can motivate it. They can motivate it for the task for the near future and for the project that the organization receive on a different period of time. So training and development is more job oriented and career oriented. Development also help the employees to grow themselves to reach at a managerial post or at a leadership positions. So career oriented process will definitely start from the training, but it will help the employees to grow over the period of time and learn important skills over different periods and become more managerial oriented, as become more manager oriented task, and can become more leadership oriented journey. So in this way they can handle this kind of work as well. They can be promoted for the position or for the job role. They can be promoted for a managerial post. They can be promoted for leadership positions. So development is a more important than the training. So this method will focus on the job training and off the job training. So on the job training include the coaching and mentorship, internship, and off the job training include the vestibule training and case studies. So in this way, both training are important, right? Now we are focusing on the next step, that is a performance appraisal. Once an organization or once an employee has been trained or the job for on the job for a while, their performance must be systematically evaluated, right? So performance appraisal involve evaluating a individual's current or past performance against a predetermined standard and followed by the constructive feedback to help them improve. So in this way, performance appraisal help them to where they have performed well and where they need a particular adjustment in their approach, adjustment in their behavior, adjustment in their work situation. So systematically, it will help the organization as well as employees to reinitiate or restart their evaluating their own effort, their past performance, and identify the flaws, identify the standards which are really needed on account of organizations to handle various other job opportunities that will appear in the organization on different period of time. So in this way, performance appraisal will help the organization as well as the employees to check their current or past performance, how they have improved and how much they are required to make improvement through the training and the practices. So in this way, performance appraisal will help you to guide a very effective manner. Seventh, we are focusing on the promotion and career planning. Manager must address the long-term employees' interests by creating clear promotion avenues. Promotion refers to the advancing an employee to a position of increased responsibilities, which usually carries higher status, facilities, and financial compensations. Because when a managers are promoted or employees is promoted from assistant manager to manager or say a deputy GM to GM. So in this case, manager must address long-term employees' interest by creating clear promotional avenues. Promotions give you the employee Promotion gives employee a chance to learn or earn a higher position in which their responsibility definitely will increase. They will get a higher status. They will have more facilities and their salary will increase. Their financial compensation in terms of bonus, in terms of perks, all are increasing day by day. All are increasing on a particular period of time. So promotion and career planning will help the managers or say human resource department to promote some of the specific employees of the organization who are performing exceptionally, who are performing well in their own organizations. Now we are focusing on the next step, that is a step 8, compensation. Organization must establish a structured wage and plan salary plans. Compensation includes all the forms of pay and reward given to employees and categorized into direct financial payments can be time based, that is a salary paid daily, weekly or monthly, or a performance based piecework pay based on unit produced. So there are direct financial payments based on the time base on based on the performance. Next, it's indirect financial payments. It's a non-monetary benefits, right? You will not get any salary or cash in kind, but in kind you will be having something important such as employer paid insurance and subsidized housing or paid vacations. So employee is not given a cash amount or any amount in their account. They are just provided insurance, they are just provided subsidized housing facilities, and they are paid, they are having a paid vacations. So in this way, compensation are provided to the employees, which are categorized into two, that is the direct financial payment and the indirect financial payment. So these are the steps of what staffing, how a employee is hired in a particular organization, and it has to go through the different stages that start from the estimating manpower requirement and reach to the compensation level. So this is all about the staffing process. Now we are understanding an important aspects of staffing, and these are three key aspects or pillars of the staffing, which you need to understand very carefully because most of the time questions are asked through these key aspects and through these key important elements. First is related with your recruitment. Recruitment is a process of finding the possible candidate for a job or a function. It is formally defined as process of researching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for a job in an organization. Objective of recruitment is to attract potential employees with the necessary qualification and in adequate number. It creates a pool of prospective candidates from which the selections can be made. What are the activities involved in recruitments? First, it identify different sorts of labor supply, assess their validities, choose the most suitable sources, and inviting applications from the prospective candidate for the vacancies. So this is way your recruitment element will work for the organization. And now we have to discuss the avenues for advertising, how the recruitment will take place. So newspaper, dedicated job advertisement papers, professional publication, window advertisements, and job center and campus interviews. In this way, you are advertising your recruitment process, you are advertising your recruitment journey that come out of the organizations, and it leads to hiring or recruiting the number of candidates. Now we will discuss there are two types of sources, that is internal and external for recruitment. We are first moving to internal source of recruitment. This involves filling up the vacant position from within the organization using the existing personnel. The two main internal sources are transfer, shifting an employee from one job or department and shift to the another. You are transferring from one job option to another job option. So it is practically a horizontal movement of employees. It takes place without any substantive changes in the responsibilities, status, and salary, though it may alter duties and working conditions. Second, it is a good source for filling the vacancies by drawing from overstaffed department. It helps in avoiding and terminations and solving individual employees' problems and grievances, and can be used to train employees across the different job. So during the transfer, you are shifting an employees from one job to another. You are giving them certain chances in which they are having a more important options, or they are they have been they are given more responsibility, status, and salary, because you transfer them, and the duties and the work condition might be different. So transfer is very important internal source of recruitment, right? So you are fulfilling the vacancy internally, you are not recruiting any person from the outside of organization. So it will help you to analyze how the transfer will work. Second, we are focusing on the promotion, shifting an employees to a higher positions, carrying increased responsibility, facilities, status, and pay. It is vertical shifting of employees. It has a strong psychological impact and improve motivation, loyalty, and job satisfaction. And it provides a promotions at a higher level often trigger a chain of promotion or at a lower level. So when you are discussing about the transfer, it is related with the horizontal shift of employees. When you are talking about the promotion, it is related with the vertical shift of employees. So promotions will definitely help the employees to a higher position at a higher status, increase responsibilities, increase facilities, increase status, and the pay both. So in this way, you are going through the internal source of recruitment, that is only two, that is a transfer and your promotions. Now we need to understand what are the merit and demerits of internal sources. First, motivation. Employees are motivated to improve performance through the learning and the practice to learn promotions. Second, you have to learn the peace and loyalty. Employee work with a greater commitment and a satisfaction, maintaining peace within the enterprises. Third point, simplicity and economy. Evaluating candidates already working in the firm is a more accurate, reliable, and economical. Fourth one, no induction training. Internal recruitment do not need induction training as they are already familiar with the organizations. Fifth one, workforce balancing. Shifting in personnel or employees via transfer easily move workforce from the surplus department to a deficit one. And last, cost effective. It is significantly cheaper than the sourcing external candidates. So in this way, they are Six important merits of internal sources that will help you to keep the employee motivated, peace, and loyal. They help the candidates to become economical or in terms of organization efficiencies. They do not provide the induction training to the existing employee. They would help the organization to balance the workforce, and it will help the organization to become cost effective when you are transferring or promoting a person from one job to another. Now we are focusing on the limitation of the internal forces. What are the limitation of internal forces? First point is a lack of fresh talent, right? You when you are hiring from a person from internal source of recruitment, you are transferring or you are promoting a person, you would not be able to hire a fresh talent from the outside of the organizations. So you will be definitely be not aware of the fresh talent which is might be more sound or more talented than the existing one. Next, lethargy may become lazy if they are assured of time bound promotions, right? So when the employees are known to the fact that there is definitely a promotion, so they will stick to the company. They will try to highlight their work and performance on a over a different period of time, but they become more lazy. They would not show more initiatives, more energy towards their work, because they know that the organization definitely will transfer from one job to another. So we need to focus on our one important work. So it will allow the employees to become lazy if they are assured of time bounded promotions, right? Next, it is unviable for a new employees. A completely new enterprises cannot utilize internal sources. A completely new enterprises cannot utilize the internal sources because new enterprises would not have a experienced person who might be transferred, who might be promoted. So definitely they would not have that kind of benefit of internal source recruitment that might be availed by the old enterprises, because old enterprise have a transfer or placement options and the placement experience. In that case, they might promote, they might transfer their experienced employees from one job to another. But intern source recruitment will not be good for a new enterprises because they have just started their business in the market. They have just have recruited few of the employees, and the employees are not very much experienced. They have no depth in their knowledge and their about the work. So definitely it will not be suffice for them to do so. Next, we are focusing on the reduced competitions. The spirit of the competitions among existing employees may become severely hampered. Reduced competition, it means that a spirit of a competition among the existing employees may become severely hampered, because when there is a no new employees, so old employee will not have a competition with each others. So when there is a no competition, there is a no excitement about the job or it's working. There is a no new initiative, no new challenges they will face during that period of time. So definitely internal source of recruitment will cause some good, some bad experience from the organization point of view. They are not providing a kind of competitions between, they are not increasing any kind of competition between them that will help the organization to think in a very innovative and newly way. So it reduces the competition. So it is a very bad point that you can learn from the internal sources or its limitation. Next, we are focusing on the productivity loss. Frequent transfer of employees can reduce the overall productivity of employees or enterprises. So it is a very valid point, because why the productivity loss would be there? Because when you transfer the employees from one division to another or one position to another, so productivity all of the existing department in which the particular employees is working or continue to work will definitely suffer when they are promoted, when they are shifted from that department to other, because all the very basics learning, all the very important function or the task that are already being handled by a particular person now will be handled by a new person, and who might be not new about the process, about the things, and about the traits and values of the organization. So definitely productivity would be reduced, production would be reduced, and manufacturing would be less on this period of account. So we have to very much focus about the productivity loss in this manner. Now we are focusing on external source of recruitment. External source of recruitment is used when the existing staff is insufficient and does not meet the eligibility criteria, when wide choice and new perspectives are desired. So commonly used external sources are: first, it's a direct recruitment. You can directly recruit the people from the job portals, or say you can highlight the job requirement in the particular newspaper. You can call them few of the important people or unskilled or semi-skilled job worker who are looking for a job. So a notice specifying the vacancy detail is posted on the enterprise's notice board. Job seeker assemble outside the premise on a specified date, and selection is done on the spot. It is used for a casual vacancy of unskilled, semi-skilled jobs known as casual or badly workers, paid on a daily wages basis. So it is inexpensive and the lake advertising cost. Second important medium for external source of recruitment is casual callers. So the reputed organization maintain a database of unsolicited applicant received in their offices. That list can be screened, and when a vacancy arises, drastically reducing the recruitment cost. It means that the organization usually get unsolicited applications from the prospective employees who want to work with the organizations. They send their resume, they send their biodata to the organizations, and as and when any vacancy arises, organization go through their database and to find the who are eligible for a particular job, and they call to that particular this prospective employee. So it will reduce their recruitment cost significantly. Next, we are moving on the advertisement. Advertisement is placed in a leading newspaper, trade journal, professional publications when a wider choice is needed. It is widely used for a senior level positions as it allows comprehensive profiling of the job and companies. And there is some disadvantage also associated with this. It can attract a flood of responses from the completely unsuitable candidate. So when you are giving an advertisement in the newspaper or some professional publications, so definitely there is a chance you are attracting all those employees or those prospective employees who are not suitable, who are not fit for a particular job as well. So you need to focus significantly how you are going to give in news vacancy in the newspaper, or how you highlighted your job vacancies in a particular professional publications. Next, we are moving on the employment exchange. Government run exchange act as a key link between the employees and the job seekers. They are considered good for unskilled and the skilled operative job. In some cases, notification of vacancies to exchange is legally compulsory. Here also disadvantage: records are frequently out of date and referred candidate may not be suitable. So sometimes if you are requirement of some of the candidates for your organization, then you can definitely call to the employment exchange, but you are not finding a good candidates at all. Next, we are moving on the placement agencies and management consultant. uh, During this time you will find that this kind of placement agencies and the management consultants are working on a very prominent basis, right? So they have been working for years and they are providing the jobs to the prospective employees, or they are bridging a gap between the organization and the prospective employees. So in this way they are helping the organization as well as the prospective employees to fulfill the gap of job requirement and job fulfillment. So first, what is a placement agency? Private agency that compile candidates biodata nationwide, match supply with the demand, and recommends profile to the client for a service fees. They are ideal when extensive screening is needed. So placement agencies collect the data from the different candidates and they identify the particular candidate from the data for a particular job, because it is a kind of agencies who identify the demand and the supply in terms of job employment, and they try to highlight the some important candidate, some specific candidate to the organization, and against it they charge a fees from the organization. So placement agencies will bridge a gap, but definitely they will charge some amount of money from the organization. Sometimes it happens that they may charge from the employees as well, or say prospective employees as well, but most of the cases they charge from the organization. Now, management consultant form specialization in the middle level and top level executive placement. They maintain extensive data banks, advertise on the behalf of client, and can entice top executive from other firms with attractive offers. So management consultant, they work, they are also specialized agencies who definitely have the middle level or top level executive placement. So the people who are having, or employees who are having a more than 20 years of experience or 25 years of experience, so they have a kind of data bank with them, and they advertises on the behalf of the client and can entice top executive from other firms with attractive offer. So they are also working as a gap, or they are also working as a bridge between the higher experienced people or higher experienced employees who want a reputed organization or renowned organization in which they can work. So also the organizations need a people who are having a 20 to 25 years of experience in management, leadership, and other way around. So definitely they will bridge the gap by providing this kind of services. Next, we are moving on the campus recruitment. It's all these are the external sorts of recruitment. Campus recruitment, as you know, that organization or say big company, big business organization maintain close contact with the universities, vocational schools, management, and technical institutions to recruit fresh qualified personnel directly. Next, recommendation of employees. Candidate introduced by current employees, friends, and relatives. These individuals often turn out to be the reliable because their background is known, and primarily informal screening happens since the current employees knows both the candidate's characters and the company's expectations. So some of the time when existing employee is recommended, or existing employee recommend a particular person, so organization will think over it, because employees know the background of the prospective employees. He or she has been recommended by him to the organization. So organization will not try to deep dive into the matter of the prospective candidate, because prospective candidate is coming on the behalf of the existing employees, and existing employee take the responsibilities of the prospective employees. So in this case, primarily screening would not be happen, only the employee with the characters or the company's expectation should be fulfilled. So in this case, recommendation employees will work better if you want to recommend a person for a particular job. Next, we are focusing on the labor contract. Contractors who maintain close personal contact with the laborers to provide unskilled workers at very short notice. These contracts are themselves employees of the firms. So, contractor also maintain a close contact, personal contact with the laborers and to provide unskilled workers at very short notice. So, it is also running in this time because labor contractors try to find unskilled labor from the different part of the say India or states. They try to employ on a particular job which is which not require too much skill to be done or to be implemented for a particular job. So they try to fill the vacancies that are arising on the very basic level or say lower level of the management. But there is a disadvantage. If the contractor leave the firm, all the worker hired through him are likely to leave too. If a contractor leave the firm, all the worker hired through the particular contractor will leave the organization immediately. So this is a very minute disadvantage of labor contract. Now we are focusing on the next important point, that is advertising on the television. Sometimes it happens that, but not necessarily. Publicizing the vacant position or post over TV channels by displaying detailed job requirement, qualification, and the target company's profile. So in this way, you will also find that the most of the prospective candidates get the information about the job at a particular company or a particular organization. They can go over there, they can apply for interview, and if if the company wants them, they can select them, they can place them in the particular their company. So next is a web publishing using using dedicated recruitment websites to display the job opening and the candidate profile. Internet has become an extremely common or heavily visited platform for both firms and the job seekers. So sometimes you know that um, LinkedIn profiles or say company profile. So dedicated recruitment website, LinkedIn, sometime display the job opening or a candidate profile. So LinkedIn is basically a platform where the companies are placing their job vacancies and the prospective employees have designed their profile over there and they can immediately apply a particular job and the peoples are definitely get the job from there, but not all the peoples will get simultaneously. But this is the very basic medium through which you can directly have interaction with the company or organizations. So the internet has become an ex- extremely common or a heavy visited platform for both the firm and the job seeker. Now there is also some merit and demerits of the external sources. Let me help you to identify or understanding the same. First is a qualified person. It attracts the well-trained and qualified people to apply. Wider choices. It generates a large response pool and giving management options. Third, fresh talent. Bring in a new blood and a fresh perspective when existing staff falls short. Competitive spirits, forcing existing employees to compete with the outsider and driving them to show better on the job performance. So these are the four merits of the external sources during the recruitment phases. Next, we are focusing on the limitation. Existing staff dissatisfaction. Current employees may feel frustrated and think their promotional paths are blocked. Lengthy process, notifying vacancies and waiting for the applications takes a substantial amount of time. And third one is a costly process, highly expensive due to major expenditure on advertisement and the processing application. So these are the three major disadvantages of external sources in which existing staff might be dissatisfied with the working and with the way of the organization is finding the new client. This is also a lengthy process, will definitely take a charge or charge money or a sufficient amount of time to looking for a good candidate. And the third one is a costly process. Definitely they have to give the advertisement in the newspaper. They sometime allow the candidate to reach a particular venue. Sometimes they have to hire the hotel, sometimes they have to hire a venue where they can organize this kind of external sources of recruitment process, and definitely it will cost them a lot. So you have to be very vigilant and focused about how you can fulfill your vacancies through the external sources. Now we are moving a very important point, next one, that is the selection. Selection is the second best element of the aspects of staffing. So selection is a process of identifying and choosing the best person out of a pool of the prospective candidate for a job vacancies. It involves a series of hurdles and employment tests, while candidates are eliminated at each stage until the right type is discovered. Because it focuses on rejecting the unsuitable profiles to isolate the best candidate, it involved complex judgments regarding on individuals' future performance potential. So selection is basically the process of identifying and choosing the best person out of a pool that comes to the organization. They have to handle the series of hurdles and the employment test. Different tests are organizing different tests are organized for different candidates at a different period of time. They are being tested on a different ground, so we will discuss the same later on. So it focuses on rejecting the unsuitable profile to isolate the best candidate, and it involves complex judgment regarding on individual future performance potential. So how this the selection process will begin? Process selection start with the preliminary screening. Process selection start with the preliminary screening. Preliminary screening is eliminate the unqualified or completely unfit applicant based on the data provided in their application forms. Preliminary interviews also help filter out misfits for reasons not visible in the application forms. All those candidates who are not qualified or not fit in a particular job, they are screened out in the on the initial phase, right? They are not allowed to be part of the second or third phase or third round. So they are screened out on the initial state. Their resume are debarred from the selection process or screening process. Second, selection test. Organization has to conduct the different tests, right? These five tests you have to remember, because during the exam you are asked about the test and their particular requirement. So first is paper and pencil test, or functional exercise designed to objectively measure an individual's specific psychological or professional traits. First test is intelligence test. Measure an IQ or individual intelligence quotient. It indicates learning capacities, decision-making ability, and judgment. Aptitude test measures a candidate's potential to learn new skill and capacity to develop in the near future. Personality test probes overall personality traits, maturities, emotion, value system, and reactions. They are notoriously difficult to design and implement. Trade test measure the candidate's existing skills, professional knowledge, and the actual level of proficiencies. Key difference: aptitude test measure the potential to acquire new skills, while the trade test measure the actual skills currently possessed. It means that aptitudes measure the potential acquire skills. If the employees is given a particular training or the development aspects, how they can acquire the new skill, this is an aptitude test, how they are designed to learn. But trade test measures what actually what actual skills an employee has during the currently job situations. So Actual skills will work on the trade test, and the acquiring skills is related with the aptitude test. Next, we are working on the interest test. Is used to discover the pattern of individual fascinations, professional involvement, and perfect preferences for a certain types of jobs over others. So, interest test will discover the pattern of an individual's fascination. What kind of activities if an employee, an individual fascinate to, or how the professional involvement is related to their jobs and related to their personal behavior, how they give preference to a certain types of job and task or activities. So all these are identified on account of interest test. Second, we are moving after selection test. Third one is we are moving on after selection test, that is employment interviews. A formal or in-depth conversation held to evaluate job stabilities or suitabilities. The interviewer seeks information while the interviewee provide it or can also ask about the organizations. So employment interview is an in-depth conversation, right? The employer asks different questions from the prospective employees or a interviewee, and they seek the information whether it is a good for the organization or not, or how the interviewees will work for the organization, how their motives, how their information will be helpful for the organization. So this kind of employment interviews is conducted by the interviewer that help the organization to seek the particular information about the interviewees on which he or she would be employed. Next, it's a reference and a background check. A reference and background check is concerned with the requesting name, address, and a phone number of a previous employer, teachers, professors to verify the information given by the applicant and gain additional background insight. It means that who is known to you or who might give genuine information about your background, about your reference, about your experience. So this is important information is checked here. So reference and background check is also play a critical role while selecting or in judging the experience or evaluating your credibilities in terms of employment. Next is selection decision, choosing the final candidate from those who clear tests, interviews, and a background check. The perspective of the concerned line managers is heavily weighted here since they are ultimately accountable for the new employee's performance. Right? So the final decisions criteria lies with the management who have cleared the test, interviews, and a background check. And line manager is focusing on a particular employees or say prospective employee who will showcase their skills, who will showcase their true potential to be part of the organization. So ultimately, responsibilities lies with the managers to hire or fire a or reject a particular new employees or its performance. Next, what we do, we have to do the medical examinations and mandatory physical fitness assessment given after the selection decisions, but before a formal job offer is extended. The offer depends entirely on being declared medically fit. So a mandatory physical fitness assessment or physical fitness certificate has to be provided to the organization that you are good at doing something, and then they will offer you a formal job offer letter in which they have written your designation, your salary package, and any other information related with the organization policies, procedures, rules, regulation, whatever it is. Now, here it is the final option, job offer. Passing all the hurdles related to the job offer made via a appointment letter. This letters confirm selection and the states a clear date by which the appointee is a person who have just applied for the job, must report for the duty, giving them a reasonable transition time. So in this way, job offer will play a significant role. Next, contract of employment. Once the job is offer is accepted, mutual documents are executed. The candidate files an attestation forms containing vital personal details which they formally attest to as a valid record for future references. So contract of employment has to be signed by the employer and employee in both the case. So a formal written contract of employment is drawing up having a detail like job title, duties and responsibilities, date of continuous employment, staff and service calculation basis, rates of pays and allowances and hours of work, leave rules, sickness guidelines, work rules and grievance and disciplinary procedures, and alongside terminations conditions. All these information usually the part of the contract of employment. Now we are moving last and most important part of the or say aspect of the staffing, that is the training and the development. Training and development is an organizational attempt to improve current or future employees' performance by increasing an individual's capabilities to perform through learning. This is achieved by altering the employee's attitude and expanding their professional skills and knowledge base. Training and development is very much important from the organization point of view because it will help the employees to increase its capability, increase its performance through learned behavior. What they have learned during the training, what they have learned during the career development phase, they are observing all the skills, observing all the career oriented requirements or the information. It will help them to become a manager, it will help them to become a leader for the near future. So in this way your training and development need will help you to highlight your skill, highlight your aptitude for further career and the promotion and the transfer. So what are the conceptual difference between the training, education and development? So let me help you to understand the same. First is training, short-term process through which employee attitude, skills and capacity to perform specific jobs are increased. It is highly tied to organization goals and current job tasks. It is a basic. It means that employees' attitude, skills, and capacity to perform specific jobs need to be trained, right? Need to be trained. You employees has to take the training about the attitude, training about the skills, training about the capacity building, how they can work for long hour, how they can showcase their skill uh, during a particular solving situation, how they are behaving in a particular manner. So all these are the part of training aspects, right? Next, we are focusing on the education, the process of increasing the broader knowledge and understanding of the employees. It focus on the interpretation, logical reasoning, determining the relationship among the variables, and understanding the basic principle. It does not provide fixed answer, but envelopes an analytical and objective mind. It is broader in a scope than the training. So it will help you to acknowledge or having a more broader knowledge or understanding about the employees, and it focus on the how the employees understand the situation, how they behave in a particular situation, how the logical reasoning will help them to understand the critical situation of the particular task or job, how they will able to handle the relationship with the other co-workers or colleagues. So it will be helpful for them, and about the same they are educated, they are informed. So some of the basic principle they are informed, some of the basic requirement they are informed. So it will help them to educate themselves about on this particular parameters. So training is important, but educating them on other aspects will help them to grow and nurture. Next, we are focusing on the development, an ongoing learning process designed to help employees grow in all the respect. It covers activities aimed at a job performance, personality growth, and maturity, and actualization of the potential so employees become better men and women, because development is a learning process, right? You cannot learn something in a very short period of time. You have to learn every day. You have to understand the discipline. You have to understand the to be consistent. You have to understand how you would be more productive. So every day you need to learn something, and it's a continuous process. So it is a part of developing. You need to develop every day. You need to develop, you need to showcase your interest of development continuously. So it covers activities aimed at job performance, personality growth, maturity, and actualization of potential so employee become better man and woman. So when you continue your development phase, you understand your job performance, you understand your personality, you understand your maturity, how you will behave in a particular situations, emotional intelligence, and it increases your emotional intelligence and actualization of potentials. How you actualize, understand your potential, how you can work more and more for the organization, how you could become more productive with the few or important hours. So in this way, you showcase your development phase. Now we have segregated, or we have created a difference between the training and development. So process of increasing specific knowledge and the skills is related with the training, and process of holistic learning and personal growth is related with the development. Objective of the training is to enable the employees to perform a current job better. Whatever you are having in your hands, you have to perform it. You have to get training about the same. But if you want to enable overall future growth of employees, if you want to train the employees, you want to uh, give them a promotion and the transfer, so definitely you should give them more personal related aspects, more personal related informations. You should give them important training about the emotional intelligence. You should give them information about the actualization of your true potential. So it all related with the development. Training is basically focused on job, but development focus on your careers. So in this way, there is a difference between the training and the development. Now we are focusing important point, that is the benefit, or importance of a training and development. So I'm highlighting the benefit of training and development of for the organization point of view, and highlighting the benefit of training and development from employees point of view. So what are the benefits that will help the organizations by providing the training and development to employees? First, systematic learning replace wasteful hit and trial methods, preventing loss in time and money. Higher productivity, it enhances the workers' output qualities and quantities, pushing operational profit higher. Future managers equip and groom internal led talent to step up into the management roles and during the emergencies, because definitely it will help the organization to develop the employees into manager. It will increase the employees' morale definitely by providing the training and development aspects. It will help the boost the morale, will drastically minimize the absenteeism and the employees turnover rates. Absenteeism and employees turnover rates is concerned with the employee will continue with the organization. He will not thinking about leaving the organizations. He will be more consistent and regular with the organization. He is more loyal to the organization. So in this way, training and development will help them or the organization. Next and last, environmental adaptability. Environmental adaptabilities help the organization adapt to the rapidly changing technological and the economical shift, because environment help the employees to accept the goal of the organization, and help the employees to accept the job performance in a very systematic manners, because whatever the environment having around the organizations, it will guide the behavior of the employees, but by providing training and the development specifically related with the employees, it will help the employees to grab the opportunities and accept the changes related with the technology or accept the changes related with the economy. So it will help the organization to be environmental adaptable from the employees point of view. Now we are focusing on the benefit to the employees. What are the benefit to the employees of training and development? It will help the employees to have a more career growth when they are providing training and development. It improves the skills and the technical knowledge and translate directly into a better long-term career growth. Second, it will increase the earning. It enhance the performance, help the individuals secure higher pay, incentives and a reward. Or third one, safety. It will help the employees to make highly efficient at handling a sophisticated machinery, reducing workplace accidents. So definitely, if you are working at a particular level of factories or somewhere else, so when you are providing training and development phase, then it will definitely help you to handle the machine in a very specific manner and reduce the workplace accident or the mishappening. Next and last, job satisfaction. When employee is provided training, when the employees are provided training, it elevates the general motivation. It elevates the general motivation. It will increase the morale of the employees and it will increase the satisfaction level of the workforce. So ultimately, it will help the organization and the employees systematically because training and development is become the part of daily organization and the employees who want to grow and sustain in this competitive world or era. Now we are focusing on important training method. These important training method will ask you during the examination, will help you to mark your answer correctly. All these are asked in a MCQs, and MCQs might be based on the training method. There are two types of methods, that is on the job training and off the job training. First, we will discuss the on the job method or on the job training method. Apprenticeship program, it places a trainee under the direct guidance of a master's workers to acquire high level manual or a technical skills used extensively for professions like a plumber, electricians, and iron workers. Trainees spend a prescribed period of working alongside a training. Slow learners can receive extended training time. So this kind of training will definitely training is provided along with the trained or masters who help the particular employees who have the particular employees to gain the more experience and more knowledge in this regard. Next is a coaching. A superior directly guide, instruct, and counsel a trainee. The coach establishes mutually agreed upon goals, chart out how to hit them, and periodically reviews performance to recommend behavioral changes. The trainees work directly under a senior manager who is grooming them to take over their duties in the near future. So it is the most important role the coach play here, and it guides the behavior of the trainees. It the coaches provide guidance, coaches provide instruction, coaches provide counseling to them to the training. It helps them to find the particular activities and its proper process and flows in which the trainee has to conduct all those activities. They have to be very energetic in their behavior and they have to adapt the behavior changes aspects as well. So coach will guide the employees in a very systematic manner. Next, we are moving on the internship training. Internship training, a joint educational venture where business enterprises and education institutions, corporates Selected candidates pursue regular academic studies for a prescribed period while simultaneously working in the office or factories to absorb practical skills. So during this type of training, a joint educational ventures where business enterprises and the education institutions cooperate cooperate in sense they both are working with each others. Who is working with each others? Business enterprises and education institution. Business enterprises highlight some of the important candidates and will send to the education institution where they can have a prescribed hour of training, prescribed hours of internship, whether they are rated with the office hour, whether they are rated to the factories working, they have to observe the skills for the office working, they have to observe the skill for the factory workings. So internship training is quite important when you are working on the job. Next is job rotation. Shifting a trainee systematically from one department or a job role to another, it's called job rotation. It's important MCQs that you can learn when you are shifting a trainee systematically from one department to another. Suppose a person who is working in a marketing department, now he has been shifted to say finance department. So this is a job rotation. So a person who have already learned the skills working with the marketing department, now he has to learn the skills working for the say finance or any other department. So this provide a comprehensive understanding of how different sections interact and how the organization function as a cohesive whole. So it allows candidates to test their own aptitude and makes future transfer or internal replacement easier for the management. So one more example you can quote here, or one more example will help you how this question might appear in the examination. So they can ask that how a candidate will test its own knowledge or aptitude whether they are fit for the replacement or not. So it will be done through the job rotation. So this is the kind of MCQs that might appear in your examination. Now I'm moving last and important point, that is the off the job method. Of the job method is also important and particularly ask the questions from in examination. First is the classroom lectures and conferences, ideal for conveying the specific organizational rules, technical method, and the procedures. It utilizes audiovisual aids and functional demonstrations to make presentation interesting, clarify complex points, and increase the retention. Second, film explicitly demonstrate crucial skills or case situations that are difficult to explain through other techniques. It is highly effective when combined with the group conferences and discussions. It usually done by the film. The employees are shown to film and they identify the case, they identify the crucial skills, they learn the crucial skills through the techniques. Next is the case studies. Trainee read the accurate or detailed description of the real problem they managers have historically faced. They study the case to isolate core issues and analyze root causes, weigh the alternative path, and select the best solution and map out the implementation steps. Case study will help the trainees how the particular problem will be solved because it is done already by a manager and manager has already solved the situation. Now it has become the case study. This case study helped the trainees to isolate and identify the issues, analyze the root causes, and identify the alternative path and which path will help them to solve the problem. So this will help the employees to map out the implement steps. So case studies will also help the also help the employees to grab the skills, grab the knowledge, and grab the job performance. Fourth one is a computer modeling. Computer modeling is related with the pre-programmed computer environment to stimulate job retail realities. It allows deep technical training to take place without incurring the high cost or external extreme risk associated with the making real life errors. Computer modeling, it means that this is the totally based on the technologies and the organization through the network computers or through organization through the LMS system, in which learning management system, they provide how a particular task is done, and employees can understand the technicalities of the particular things while watching a particular video. So computer modeling will help you on in this case also. Computer modeling will guide you in such a manner that how that particular task is completed and how the employee will learn through this particular problems. So pre-program computer environments to stimulate the job realities, it allows deep technical learning to take place without incurring the higher cost and extreme risk associated with the making real life errors. So it will help the employees to understand the situation before they are actually employed on the real life working conditions. So they understand the situation, they understand the problems, and then they apply it to the real life job working. Next and most important, and it usually asked during the examination, vestibule training. Training conducted away from the actual factories floor but using identical equipment, files, and material in a simulated classroom settings. It is a heavy relied upon when employees must learn to handle highly sophisticated or dangerous machinery before being introduced to production line. So vestibule training is really important, and it is done in the in an environment that is actually that are exactly same with the actual factory working condition. So training conducted away from the actual working condition but exactly similar to the actual factory, but using the same equipment, same file, same material in a simulated classroom. It's a in a classroom you have been given a situation about the job, about the performance, and you have to do exactly same manner that you actually do at the job location. So it is a heavily relied upon when the employees must learn to handle highly sophisticated or dangerous machine before being introduced to production line. So sometime you heard about the heard about the railway working. Railway working comes under the vestibule training, right? So railway training is provided in a very systematic environment, and they provide you a classroom training or simulated classroom training in which they will give you the model of the rail and tracks and the signals, and through that training you understand how the railway works and how the signals work and how you change the track from one to another. So this will help you to understand the vestibule training. Next and last is program instruction. Program instruction is related with a logical learning packages where specific information or skills are broken down into meaningful units, arranged sequentially from simple to complex, and the trainee independently progresses through each unit by answering targeted question or filling in the blanks. So program instruction is like today we are working on a AI oriented environment. AI oriented environment will ask you some of the important questions and break down whatever your learning will be based on. So when you are having a logical learning packages where specific information or skills are broken down into meaningful units, so it will not teach you everything at a moment. It will help you to gradually accept or learn the skill which is required for a moment, right? It will help you to gain you the knowledge about a specific part of the job and its related skills. So program instruction will give you instruction on particular aspects of a job, right? Not all the aspects of job in a one time. So it will help you sequentially arrange the thing. It will help you sequentially get the knowledge about the particular product and its related job working, and it will help you to understand the simple and then to the move to the complex one. So the trainee independently progress. They understand the process, they understand the procedures, and through each unit by answering targeted question and filling in the blanks. What they have learned at a particular phase, they have to answer the things, then they move ahead. Again, there is a question will be there, it will help you understand some of the important skills, then you have to answer the same, and then you move to the continuously to end of the particular situation, which are very much required from the job point of view. So program instruction will break the thing in a sequence in which you will learn the important part from simple to complex one. You understand the particular process in a step by step that will help you to grow in your field, in your job perspectives. So here it is, all the off the job training module or training method. So we have completed our this chapter, and this is all about your staffing and its aspects and its element. We have understood about recruitment, we have understood about selection, we have understood about training and development phase. So end for the day, and we will continue other chapter in the next video. Till then, you can have a more information on this chapter, you can go through, you can subscribe this channel for consistent study. You can share these channels to other students who are very much interested in learning and understanding the particular concept, because this chapter is quite long and you have to be very focused on this particular chapter, because this chapter attract more question in the CBSE exams. So you can share the chapter, you can subscribe the channel as well, you can like the channel, like the content. So it might help other student, it might help to approach other student to this particular content. It will give them a chance to learn something important and will help you to prepare for your exam as well. So till then, take care, bye, and we'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.